It is time to step into your power. What you need to know and what you are going to realize at the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, that you are strong beyond measure. And that in itself means that the healing energy will be flowing through you throughout this week on a completely different level. As long as you are honest with yourself. There is something that you just need to be so honest with yourself. Indeed, especially when it comes to the specific person in your life. At the beginning of this week, when it comes to the specific person in your life, my gorgeous Aquamarini, only you know what am I talking about. And if you don't know what am I talking about, that in itself is going to be absolutely obvious right at the beginning of this week. When it comes to the 13th and 14th and the 15th of March 2023, right at the beginning of this week, you are going to just one morning, right at the beginning of this week, you are going to wake up and something very, very specific is going to be on your mind. Some kind of idea that is going to come to you completely out of blue. Like, oh my God, it couldn't have been any bluer, even if it wanted to be. So this idea, this realization you're going to have, as soon as you wake up in the morning, there is something going to be on your mind. So you really need to pay attention to what this is, because this in itself, it's going to be a very, very powerful moment in time, which in itself is providing you with this powerful spiritual key. Once you get this spiritual key, once you unlock the doors that I'm talking about, there is so much going to be clear to you. And this is important. The actual clarity at this stage in your life is important so much, because it's going to help you to ground yourself. It's going to help you to recenter yourself. And most importantly, it's going to help you to come back to yourself, because something really upset you not that long ago. Within the last 2 or 3 weeks, my gorgeous Aquamarini, something have upset you so much, and you were upset by something quite a lot, and you kind of knew what to do, but you have found it very, very hard to make the necessary step. So this healing energy that I'm talking about, it's really going to be beneficial for you when it comes to so many different aspects of your life, but especially when it comes to this problem. And so at the beginning of this week, you are going to have this realization, which is almost immediately going to turn into an idea how to leave something behind. You will know that something has come to an end, and you will know that you have to move on from something, because the longer you leave it, maybe the more difficult it's going to be. Not necessarily really horrible and heavy, but it's just unnecessarily going to prolong this particular confusion in your life. So you have to be strong, my gorgeous Aquamarini. You have to be strong. So it's all about this idea that you are going to have, how to leave something behind. And that, but the difference with this idea is going to be, I don't know, some kind of something completely different is going to come to you. Something completely different. And that really, it's going to give you a whole new perspective here. And this whole new perspective that you are going to have, this is coming from you viewing the specific situation in your life from a completely different angle. Normally you would be like, no baby, no, I can't do this. I'm not strong enough. This is stronger than me. No baby, no, it is not stronger than you. You're ridiculously powerful and you're ridiculously strong. And now, my gorgeous Aquamarini, it's literally time to wake up, baby, wake up. And that in itself, it's going to make you see and view the specific problem, from a completely different angle, where you would have been oh, I don't want to do this. So now you're going to become keen and eager. Now you're going to become very, very brave. Now you're going to become very strong. In fact, you're just going to get into this mode where you're gonna be so like kind of impatient, like you're gonna like kind of be, oh my god, when is it gonna, oh, I'm so excited now suddenly. So you see how things are actually going to change. This in itself, it's a very important step that you need to make, because that in itself, it's really going to be the beginning of something very, very special. How to transform your life. You are literally doing this right now. This step is gonna be giant. It's going to be enormous, that you're actually going to make at the beginning of this week. And in itself, as soon as you do this, and only 3 days after that moment in time, only 3 days after that moment in time, something is going to come to your attention, something that you wouldn't even normally notice. You will hear something, then you will see something, and then you will be able to connect to something, like something very specific. And that in itself, it's going to bring this passion within, and that it's going to point you towards like you are wanting to learn something very, very specific. You will want to explore something very specific. This is going to be on your mind, and you're not going to be able to stop thinking about it. But how you will know that this is something that you should actually learn, explore, find out a little bit further, it's not only because you're going to feel so excited about, but at the same time, it's like this, this optimism, it's just going to be completely out of this world. And as soon as you think about this, you will know that this is the part of your destiny. This is the part of your soul purpose, my gorgeous Aquamarini. And honestly, it couldn't have happened at a better time in your life. And this is very, very important for you to understand. By the time you get to this mid part of this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, it's all about you expanding your horizons. Wherever you are in this world, whatever you do in this world, whatever you're focusing on in this world, now it's time to expand your horizons, which means that at the same time you have to follow your bliss. What I find very interesting at around the midweek, my gorgeous Aquamarini, what I find very, very interesting is that you know how you're gonna realize that you possess a very special power when you are gonna really feel a very strong connection to do something spiritual again. It could be anything, but this particular thing you haven't done in a long time, whatever this is. Maybe it's smudging your home, maybe it's doing something with a certain crystals, maybe it's using a bit of aromatherapy oils. It could be absolutely anything. But then something that you haven't done in such a long time is just literally going to be on your mind, and you will want to like really jump into it almost immediately. And that's exactly what you're gonna do. And this in itself, it's a very, very good and positive sign because it means that you're slowly moving on the next stage of your spiritual journey. So now it's time to reconnect with yourself again. And this also means that, I told you this before, my gorgeous Aquamarini, you've been through so much within the last few years, and it did affect you in such a way where you have kind of lost a little tiny bit part of yourself. And this is a very positive sign that this now it's about to return. So when you find yourself thinking about something really spiritual at around the midweek, my gorgeous Aquamarini, at the same time, you are creating this very, very powerful and special energy. So let's say that you used to maybe use aromatherapy oils, for example. So now suddenly you want to smell that little rose. Now suddenly you want to smell that little geranium. You want to like kind of surround yourself with a lavender. Do you know what I mean? It could be absolutely anything. But let's say it's to do with essential oil. So now suddenly you get a little bit of lavender and you smell it or whatever. You put it on your hand and you smell it and you just feel divine and all these things. You feel an instant connection, and then this reminds you of so many other things, in your life, how things used to be. But at the same time, you're going to be reminded of something very, very specific from your past. Very specific. And that in itself, it's also going to make you aware of the fact that somebody from the past that you're going to be reminded of through this like kind of spiritual experience is also going to need your help. So someone is going to be on your mind, and that particular person who's going to be on your mind is somebody who you are very much so connected to, who you really love, but they're going through something very difficult and you can really help them. And this is not the person that I've been talking to you about before. This is somebody else that you are really going to be surprised by how they're going to pop into your mind, but it's not anyone who you don't like or dislike or anything like that. But that in itself, it's important for you to understand that that particular person is going to need your help. And it's not only about you kind of stepping through and telling them some kind of experience that you had that is going to help them so much. It's brilliant. You have got an experience that is going to help them to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But it's not only that, it's vice versa, baby. That particular person is also going to give you some kind of like absolutely mind-blowing information at this stage of your life, almost as if you're going to find out some kind of a secret that is just going to make that light at the end of the dark tunnel like super bright, baby. So this is what you need to understand. And also, and this is going to come to you at the moment in time when you just remind yourself of something spiritual that you used to do. When you remind yourself, but this is just going to pop into your mind and you will want to do it. So this is what this special energy is going to do. But also at the same time, while you're doing something spiritual at around the midweek, there is also going to be such an important sign. Such an important sign. So let's say it's like you are still like smelling this lavender or whatever, and then suddenly there is some kind of sign that you are going to have. There is some kind of sign that you're going to become aware of, and this sign, it's really going to surprise you. But then at the same time, what this sign is actually going to be about, it's all kind of about you really kind of like, expanding your horizons. But it's not about you expanding your horizons. It's about like what exactly like do you need to do. Through that sign you will understand what exactly do you need to do, especially when it comes to you expanding your horizons, my gorgeous aquamarine. And this is going to be absolutely brilliant indeed. The last part of this week, it's like, oh my God, you are going to have a blessing. There is a blessing that is going to come to you, and this blessing that you're going to become aware of, it's like, oh my God, it's really going to surprise you. It's going to come through as a news, it's going to come through as a message, but then at the same time, this blessing is really going to be connected to your finances, financial situation, your career if you're working, if you're retired, then it's like to do with your finances, for example. So the bottom line is basically it is a lot going to be connected to the finances and financial situation when it comes to that particular blessing, because my gorgeous aquamarine, most importantly, of course you deserve this, and you've been working very, very hard for this, and this is something that it's also gonna make you feel so good right at the beginning of the last part of this week. And also when it comes to the last part of this week, listen to me, almost as if you're going to find yourself on some kind of unknown territory. When you find yourself on an unknown territory, my gorgeous aquamarine, at around the end of the week, I know that you will see exactly what I mean here. You will find yourself on an unknown territory. What you need to remember is gorgeous gorgeous Sasha, I'm joking, guys. So what you need to remember me telling you that, you are exactly where you need to be, okay? So now it's time to also clear the air. At the same time, when it comes to the last part of this week, the big wish, some kind of wish is going to come true. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Some kind of a wish is going to come through, my gorgeous aquamarine. And this particular wish that it's going to come through, it's really pretty much so. It's not like it's not final. Oops, sorry, darling. It's not final. It's not a fine. Oh my God! It's sorry. I'm just keep on checking the tarot cards here because I've got like a table here, so I'm just trying to kind of get used to this big mama over here, and I'm keeping like a checking the tarot cards on the floor. Anyway, what was I? Yeah. So this wish that it's not a final. Oh, this is big, like final. This wish came true. No, baby, no. One particular big stage of some kind of a wish when it comes to somebody very specific in your life who like is like I spoke about this person before, somebody who you are really worried about, somebody who you were so worried about when it comes to your life. There is this specific person, an older person, a person who is like your family member, person who is connected to you, person who is not being themselves. You've been worried about that person for a while because I told you that there are some kind of dark entities about that person, around that person, that are trying to maybe trying to like they're trying to like really use that particular person in your life. And this is somebody older who has been affected with maybe things that maybe older people can get when it comes to the sensitivity, when it comes to their mind. There is something is not just right. That person is not really themselves. They haven't been themselves for a while, and this is due to their age, but they're also doing something really bad to themselves, maybe drinking a lot, or maybe doing something very, very excessively, which is just making the whole situation even more difficult. It just goes on a completely different level. Anyway, so you were worried about that person. So that wish that I said, it's connected to that particular person. It's not final, but you're gonna hear a really good news about it, and this is gonna like make you feel so good. You are gonna hear a very good news about it. You're already like kind of working on this, and there is also somebody else who's going to be connected to this situation, who is going to play an important role when it comes to you getting a new good message, good news about something's finally moving on when it comes to that particular person. So this is the beginning of the solution of that problem, and this is brilliant because as I said, that person is surrounded by very, very dark entities, and this in itself made you worried. It made you very nervous. It made you very kind of uncomfortable. It made you really anxious. It made you really negative, and it was affecting you, like kind of it was even affecting like certain relationships in your life. It was affecting you to kind of evolve. It was affecting you to grow. This in itself was affecting you to kind of like really focus, to be sharp as you normally are. But you will keep on leaving this at the back of your mind because for a while you just did not know what to do. It was impossible to come up with a solution because this is a very, very touchy subject, especially when it comes to that person. Almost as if someone is like kind of like, don't get me wrong, please, losing their mind slowly, but they are just being very stubborn about certain things. And this is when you need to step in, because of course if you don't, this is gonna like affect you big time. So it was affecting you. So now this is the last part of this week. Is just like, oh my God, this is absolutely mind-blowing. It is also to do with like some kind of a dream that you are going to have the last part of this week, and what this dream is going to make you think and make you aware of the fact how vivid it's actually going to be, and you're instantly going to be thinking like, oh my God, I haven't had a dream in an absolute ages, like, oh my God. And this dream, you're either going to remember vividly like the actual dream, or you're just gonna again like wake up in the morning and then suddenly you're gonna be thinking about something specific completely out of the blue. So you will know that this is coming from a specific dimension, from a completely different dimension, because you can feel it in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, in your soul. Okay, so the bottom line is that you are going to have that dream, whether you remember this dream or not through the actual dream, or whether you just wake up in the morning and you just have these specific things on your mind. Well, now it's just gonna make you feel so determined to actually come up with an important plan with an important plan here. And this plan that you are going to have, it's like, oh my God, this is going to be absolutely absolutely the right thing to do. And you will know what am I talking about, because you're going to instantly feel so ambitious, so ambitious, and so ambitious. And now the difference is that you're already going to realize, like, so many different ways that you didn't realize before, how to get somewhere and how to do something. And this is so important that this in itself, it's really kind of going to almost like give you a reason for celebration. That's how you're going to feel like you want to celebrate, because you will feel this on a completely different level. So this in itself is very, very important indeed. This plan that you're going to feel so ambitious and so confident about, it's really going to already it's going to start become evident in April and May 2023. In April and May 2023, but especially when it comes to April 2023, already by the end of April 2023, you are going to have a huge, massive reason to actually celebrate. And let me tell you something, my gorgeous Aquamarine, this is different. You need to be strong at around the end of the week, because someone is going to try to wind you up. This is not a good person. This is not a nice person. Someone is really going to try to wind you up. Someone is really going to try to irritate you. Someone is really going to try to have an argument with you. And what you're going to find really challenging here is like how not to. But you have to remember to not to have an argument whatsoever. Okay? Maybe throughout this week try to be like that. I'm not saying that you're going around screaming and fighting and arguing. No, baby, no. No, baby, no. But I'm just saying to you that from the beginning of this week until the end of this week, you take these 7 days and just try to like be as positive with everything, with everyone, okay? And this is how you can avoid this situation, because this is strongly connected to your karma, to your spirit, and to your spiritual purpose and to your soul. But it's to do with how you respond to this. If someone irritates you, and this is not a good person, but that doesn't matter. But if somebody irritates you and somebody wants to like kind of have an argument with you, you have to do everything to rise above it. Okay? You have to do everything to, go away without even making any scene, or just with you just have to like put a little bit of positivity to it. But the bottom is that you have to respond to this, not in the way that this particular bastard of a person wants you to respond to. So you just like kind of keep your cool, you keep your sweet, and I'm talking about someone really vile here, and you know this, you will know this, but you have to respond to this, I know, in a positive way. And as long as you and this is what you're going to find extremely challenging, but you have to, because if you don't respond in a positive way, this is going to affect your balance, and something really bad is going to prolong. If you respond in a positive way, which you are going to, you have to rise above it, baby. You are going to gain the actual balance. You are going to gain an important balance when it comes to your life. So very soon after that moment in time, you are going to notice and become aware of some kind of a project, a very, very powerful, important project that you wouldn't normally even notice. If you have an argument and you go down that route, you're never gonna notice this important new project. So this is why you have to recenter and ground yourself. I would really advise you to do something nice for you, nice for yourself at the beginning of this week. Something nice that makes you feel good, that makes you feel better. Take care of yourself in the best possible way. Treat yourself, because this in itself is going to raise your vibration. It's going to raise your energy. It's going to bring so much clarity to your life. But most importantly, it's going to prepare you for what's to come. Okay, my gorgeous Aquamarini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.